Josh Taylor has claimed that he dropped Ugas in sparring. He said, I sparred Yordenis Ugas in Vegas and it went very, very well. I dropped him one time as well. I'm pretty confident if that fight came around. Ugas responded furiously by calling Taylor a liar and a cheater. He said, show the video where you said you knocked me to the ground. You wear smaller gloves. You are a man without any kind of class. I'm looking for the tweet where I talk about our sparring, but you never throw me to the floor, even using small gloves. Interesting there from Ugas. So he's accusing Josh Taylor of wearing small gloves in sparring and still not managing to drop him. And look, boxing is a sport with lots of alpha males. It's a sport about competition. It's a sport about proving who is the best fighter in a respective weight class. And of course, Josh Taylor is not in the same weight class as Ugas, but they're only one weight class apart. So you're going to get clashes of personalities. You're going to get this guy going at that guy. You know, sometimes fans can get upset with one fighter or the other because, you know, they have a rivalry and they're saying bad things about each other. What are you watching boxing for if you don't want rivalries? See, I like smack talk. I like trash talk as long as they're going to get in the ring and settle it. Where I don't like it is where one guy's talking trash and he's got no intention of getting in the ring and settling it with the other guy. That's where I don't like it generally. There are some exceptions. One of them might be Amir Khan and Kell Brook. Khan tormented Brook for years. And at first, I was annoyed with Khan for not taking the fight. But after a while, it got so trolly, to invent a term, that it was actually amusing what Khan was doing to Brook. But with that aside, generally speaking, I don't like when fighters talk trash and then refuse to fight the person they're talking trash about. Josh Taylor against Ugas, I mean, that's a fight I'd like to see, for sure. I don't think it would be a particularly difficult fight to make. I think Taylor would be up for that. I'm sure Ugas will be up for that. So let's see if that can happen. Ugas, of course, is a PBC fighter. Last I checked, he certainly fought Manny Pacquiao on a PBC show. Yeah, I'm sure Ugas is a PBC guy. So I don't know how realistic it is, but in terms of the fighters wanting it, I'm sure they would. Josh Taylor versus Terence Crawford is far more realistic because they're both promoted by Top Rank. And Josh Taylor has expressed his desire to face Terence Crawford in the ring. In fact, let me give you a quote here. He said, I believe in my own ability. I believe I've fought better opposition than Crawford has. Although Crawford is very, very good. He's elite level. But he hasn't fought the best opponents in his division. He's fought good fighters, good opposition. But I believe I fought at the better level. I fought better fighters on the way up. Ask any fighter if they could beat Terence Crawford. Yeah, especially me. I feel I can win it out in the park, albeit a very rough fight. I have to be at my very best to win that fight. Yes, I do think that, but I do think I can win the fight. And that's what you want to hear. And I like Josh Taylor's confidence, the fact he believes he can beat everybody out there. That's what you want to see in a fighter. You don't want to see a fighter doubting himself. Oh, I'm not sure about this one. I'm not sure about that one. Nah, you want to hear a guy saying that he can take on the world. And you see, one of the reasons I want to hear a guy say he can take on the world and actually believe it is because then he might try and go out there and do it. And then we'll see great fights as a result. Yeah. When you got these guys who are, I'm not sure, want to stay in my lane, that tells you that you're probably not going to see this person involved in any great matchups or the matchups that you want because they're not quite sure about themselves, trying to preserve their O and all this kind of business. Josh Taylor is the undisputed champion at 140 pounds. You know, and he's fought good fighters, tough fights to get into that position. So he's shown what he's about. And he intends to continue in that same spirit. So Ugas can get it. Terence Crawford can get it. You know, I look forward to seeing what happens in Josh Taylor's career over the next few years. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And in fact, before I go, the whole thing about not revealing what happens in sparring, what happens in sparring stays in sparring. I don't care about all that. I don't care about the unwritten rule and the secret code and you're supposed to not reveal what happened in sparring. You know Hatman loves a sparring rumor. Where would I get my sparring rumors if, well, to be fair, I get rumors sometimes from behind the scenes. Yeah. Word on the grapevine stuff. it isn't necessarily the fighters themselves coming out saying it. But it makes my job a lot easier if the fighters do just come straight out and say it. Then I don't have to say, well, this is speculation and that's speculation. Then I can just say, well, the fighters themselves are saying that this happened, or one of the fighters is saying that this happened. So it makes it a lot easier for me. So thank you, Josh Taylor, for revealing that you dropped Ugas in Sparring. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. Ugas denies it. It's certainly possible, right? Stuff happens. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Come and join me on Patreon and access my weekly no-holds-barred, censorship-free podcast where we lift the lid on a wide range of controversial topics. It's not mainstream friendly, it's not politically correct, but that's the whole point. We dare to stand as a beacon of reason against an army of insanity. Just head on over to my Patreon page and select the tier called Hatman Hot Topics. You'll gain access to a minimum of 2 hours of exclusive content every single week, including podcasts, videos, interviews, live stream Q&A sessions, as well as my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. Not to mention a vast back catalog of hundreds of hours of previous episodes. You can listen via the Patreon app with the option to download in high quality MP3. We've also got a Discord server where you can come and chat and hang out with myself and other members. There's no contract, no commitment, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.